All right. I'm going to share my screen just so you guys can see what we're going to be discussing. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is Team Cup. Are you guys muted? Can you mute yourselves? Let's see. All right. There we go. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is Team Cup. Those of you who are new, you may not be familiar with Team Cup, but basically it is a contest that Beachbody puts on, I would say maybe 2 months out of the year. And February is the month that we do Team Cup. And basically what it is if you want to participate in Team Cup, which because you're on this call, this means you're serious about building this business. So that means you're going to want to be on Team Cup. So you're going to be on a team with 4 other coaches. Okay? And if you need to find a team, we will figure that out. So you're going to be with 4 other coaches, and basically you want to get as many Success Club points that you can in the month. You also want to rank advance this month. So if you're Emerald, you want to hit Ruby, or if you want to hit Diamond, or even more. If you're a coach, you're going to want to hit Emerald. So you're going to want to hit a big rank this month. So every Success Club point that your team gets, you get 1 point. Every rank advancement a coach on your team makes, you get 3 points. If you haven't registered for Summit by February 29th, I would do that, because when you do, you get 2 points for your team when you register. So automatically, those of you who already registered for Summit, which is in July in NOLA, you already earned yourself and your team 2 points. Okay? Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, oh, Summit's so far away, and I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could afford it. One thing that I heard about the speaker that talked to us at Super Weekend was he said, if you want to do this business, you need to make it work. You need to show up. You need to go to Summit. It's a non-negotiable in your business. Okay? So my first year, I went to Summit. My sponsor coach, I signed up in January. The end of January will be my 4-year anniversary. It's crazy. And we had no money. And I would see her going on these trips and going, to the Summit conference. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. But I can't do that because I can't afford a flight to Nashville, because that's where it was. And she's like, well, you know what? Then I don't know what to tell you, because if you go, your whole business is going to change. You're going to leave there so fired up, and you're going to be hitting goals left and right that year. And you know what? She was right, because I was serious about this business. I had goals I wanted to hit. I had a huge why, and my why is still up on my wall, to not go back to an 8 to 5 ever again. Okay? If you want to hit these whys and you want to hit these goals, you need to take risks. You need to invest in yourself and invest in your business. So I highly recommend you register for Summit, because I ended up being able to go. I had a room with 3 other coaches, but actually it was the best time ever. And I left there a changed person. So that's Team Cup. I will do a post tonight on who wants to participate, and I hope to see your names on that post, and we will get your teams going. And then next thing I want to talk about before our guest speaker comes on, I'm good on time, are you guys ready for this? I feel like we need a drum roll. Okay. I know you guys are been, watching on stories and seeing this in the team page, but we are extending the qualifications for our 2020 Diamond Retreat to Destin, Florida. So yes, if you have not qualified yet, you still can. And let's go over what exactly this is. So it's a Diamond Leadership Retreat. So Kirsten Johnson and I, she's my Star Diamond. She's a Star Diamond coach on Team Next Level, which is our upline. She's also my success partner, bestie. I talk to her like on a daily basis. We are going to be rewarding our entire downline to a Diamond Retreat in beautiful Destin, Florida. So this is open to you. And you know what? This will also be open to your coaches when you sign them up. The whole entire downline. So here are the deets. It's a 3-night stay in a gorgeous crystal beach home with luxurious private pool and golf views. And if we have time, I'll pull up the pictures. It's September 17th through the 20th. So I believe it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you come home Sunday. It should say Kirsten and I will be covering the cost. Kirsten and I will be covering the cost for you guys to stay there. You just are responsible to travel, like your flights. That's it. Everything else, we gotcha. So you're probably thinking, oh my God, what is it? I want to hear. Well, this is how you qualify. Starting today, now, when we get off this call, it's live all the way to March 25th, 2020. So you have 3 months to do this. You must rank advanced to a new diamond for the first time and hold it for 6 consecutive weeks. So you have to stay active, which means you're 50, 90 PV or above, and you have to hold that diamond status. So that means all your coaches that are under you on your team are active, 50 PV or above. You need to hold it for 6 weeks, and the last date to enter qualification and wake up as a diamond is on March 25th. So that's a Thursday, because that's when our bonus weeks start. Current diamonds that haven't qualified, you just need to hit Success Club and hold diamonds for 6 weeks. So when I say Success Club, I mean you need to have 15 Success Club points. So if you you are a current diamond and you lost it and then you get it and then you lost your rank and you really want to go on this trip, you need to get back to diamond, hold it for 6 weeks, and have 15 Success Club points, okay? If you are my downline, my personally sponsored coaches, or Mike's, you guys have until June 24th to hit diamond, but you have to earn 30 Success Club points, okay? All right, so first of all, are there any questions about this? I'm gonna be posting another diamond tracker in our team page so you can start tracking your Success Club points, your coaches, and knocking them off your tracker so you can keep it like where you can see it when you're building your team and building your business. What else was I gonna say? Oh, so can I get a show of hands of who is going to be in Destin with us? Okay.
Okay, is that a question for like who actually is going or who is aspiring?
Are you gonna be there? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. First of all, if you are thinking in the back of your mind like, ooh, yes, I'll be there, or if you're thinking, yeah, there's no way that I can do that, there's no way I can reach that, then you're kind of already setting yourself up for failure. You're already letting that negative self-talk get in your head because you know what? Your mind is so used to that. Your mind is trained to do that. You need to shift it around. You need to tell yourself, I will be in Destin. I'm going. I see myself on the sandy white beaches, which are they white? I don't know. On the sandy beaches of Destin, Florida. Every single morning, you write that down on your positive affirmation. I am in Destin, Florida with my team. I am a 2020 diamond and above, earning X amount of dollars. I am attracting leaders to join my team. If you say these to yourself or even write them down every single day, it's going to start to manifest and your mindset's going to change. But if you do not do that and you let that negative self-talk creep in, it's going to be a challenge, right? So, ladies, you got this. You know what to do. You just have to put it into action. Lean into the team. Find a success partner. Kirsten is my success partner. Even though we're not on the same team, she's got her own team. We actually met in Vegas when we earned our first Diamond Leadership Retreat. That's how we met. And we've been friends since and success partners since. A success partner is almost like a coworker, like someone you work with that you always ask questions or you support one another. Find a success partner. It doesn't have to be on this team. Actually, I wanted to real quick introduce two women that are on this call. Hold on, let me stop my share. They are on our upline team. They don't have the best sponsor support. Hold on a second. And they reached out to me to hop on our team calls. So I want to introduce to you Christina. Where are you? Where are you, Christina? There you are. Okay. There's Christina. She is also on her sponsor coach. Trista is her sponsor's coach. Does that make sense? And then Kelly Heyman. Hey, girl. Kelly's also on TNL, and she is from Canada. Did I say that right? She been listening? So anyways, she says, hey, thank you. So these two women probably would love to have a success partner, okay? So you do not have to find somebody that is on our team. Reach out to, I know Laura, you met somebody in Nebraska. It's a super weekend that you guys are bouncing ideas off one another and you're success partners. Congrats. Your partner should be at your level. Like you should be learning at the same time. You obviously don't want to be success partners with like a 2-star to diamond coach when you were just a coach, when you just started out as a coach. So find somebody, get together with them. If there's somebody that you see on the team or see and you're like, oh, she's just like me, send them a message and ask them, okay? Okay, our guest speaker will come on in 4 minutes. So we have 4 minutes of Q&A. What do you got? This is the time to ask you guys. Ask questions. Okay, I have a question. Who's going to be in Destin, Florida with us next year? All right. Okay. I have a challenge for you ladies. I want you to write it down somewhere. I don't care where. You are going to see it every single day, whether it's in your workout space, whether it's in your pantry because you really like to snack, whether it's in a book that you're reading, on your bathroom mirror. I want you to take a picture of it and I want you to post it in our team page.
I have a question, Maggie.
Yes.
Is there going to be any sort of like push to diamond group, like where we have specific tasks to do every day and like a place to check in, or is this just
Nope.
No?
I've done those before and it's I will tell you, okay, so real quick, Danielle Lichtig, she's kind of like my success partner now. She is on Own My Tone. She's a 4-time elite. She's been 4 times elite, her team. Me and her are collaborating. Madeline, like she's coughing up a lung. Me and her are collaborating and we are running a mastermind elite training on how to recruit coaches next week. So if anything, Gina, that would be the group that you want to be in. And this is going to be by application only. You have to apply to be in this group because we aren't just going to take anybody. You have to be serious about building this. And one of the questions on the application is going to be, did you buy your summit ticket yet? Just giving you a heads up. Okay? We are going to be taking some serious applicants. But yes, so that, Gina, answers your question. I'm not going to be doing like a diamond dash or a push, but definitely this master elite training course will contribute a lot to getting you to diamond. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Trying to look around and see all these beautiful faces. Maybe we should do a quick pick. I will post, I'm going to post the mansion. It's a mansion. That's what the description says of the house in Destin. I'll post the link so you guys can check out all the pics. So Kirsten and I ended up we went bigger. We're like, our team deserves more. So the other house we had, nah, we wanted to go bigger. So it's a mansion. I'll post the link so you guys can check out the pictures. And let's, oh, there's Dom. Okay, hold on, Dom. I want to take a quick picture of my team. Okay. Smile, everybody. Yay. Okay. All right, ladies. I am so excited to introduce you to our guest speaker, our very first guest speaker of 2020. Her name is Dom Anders. She is a certified business coach. Oh, by the way, I hope you follow her on Instagram. She's got some great content. She really offers a lot of value, and she knows her stuff. So hence why she's on the call. She is a busy mom, but she is a business coach for busy entrepreneurs like us, as well as a TV producer for the past 17 years. So she has been in the game. She knows everything that she needs to know, and I am just completely excited and fired up that you are here today. Everybody's muted, so because the distractions and like the outside noise is very, distracting for the guest speaker. But welcome to our team. This is Team Self-Made. I mean, this is only like a small fraction of our team due to other, conflicts going on. Because as you know, as a mom, busy mom, you try to do it all and you can't. So, yay! All right, so the floor is yours, darling.
Awesome. Hey, ladies. So everybody is muted. So I'll ask questions throughout. Don't feel like you have to respond if you want to respond. I think you have a chat open, right? Yeah. And if you have any questions, if you guys want to hang on to the end, because I'm just going to jump on in, and Maggie at any point in time interrupt me. But I'm going to jump in. We're going to make sure you guys get everything that you came here for tonight. So if you're not already in a quiet spot, maybe somewhere where the kiddos aren't bugging you, the dog's not trying to get you to take them out, these next 40 minutes are for you. We're going to cover a lot, but I hate to be cheesy about it. It could be a little life-changing for you. We're going to talk about your goals, like legit what you really want. We're going to figure out what you really want to accomplish as a coach. We're also going to cover what's been holding you back. Then we're going to hit some concrete goal setting. And lastly, I'll be helping you with time management. So like I said, jump in the chat if you have any questions, interrupt me, but I'm going to roll with it. I talk super fast. I'm going to try to slow it down. I just want to make sure that you guys get everything. So I'll give you guys a quick intro on who I am and what I do. Maggie already told you. First and foremost, I'm a Midwesterner. I'm actually from Chicago. So I haven't drank the LA Kool-Aid just yet. I've been in Los Angeles for 17 years. I traded 16-hour days running a production world out here, working in television, and now I work for myself. I get to help busy entrepreneurs focus and follow through on their goals and ideas. I still do TV a little bit, about once a year, but I get to do it on my terms. I pick one project a year, and that's what I do. And I have 2 little kids at home. Maggie was right. I have 1 kid with special needs, so I definitely come from the world of my plate is full. So I also know, though, from experience that what you guys are looking to do in your businesses, especially if you guys have a family, especially if you work full time and this is your side thing, I know that it's possible because I'm doing it. My clients are doing it. I'm seeing other people do it. Is that my squeaking? Do you hear squeaking? Hopefully it's not me. Let me know, Maggie, if you hear any like squeak, squeak, squeaking, any feedback in audio. Do you hear it? Okay, good. All right. Okay. So I'm going to ask some questions and they're sort of rhetorical. You can write them down. But we'll start with, why did everyone even, become a coach? Why did everybody on this call tonight want to be a coach? Maybe you wanted to help people. Maybe you wanted to make money. This is a side hustle, or maybe this is your main income. Maybe you're working out anyways. You might as well help other people get healthy, right? Maybe you want to make your own hours. There's a social aspect to it. But if you said money, and I'm guessing most people, right, we start a side hustle, we start a business because we want to make money. It's actually never about the money. And it's always something that's way further down the line from the money. So we get into something because we think we want the money, but it's actually more about something bigger than that. Money is just the tool to get you what you really want. And so maybe what you're really after is freedom. Maybe it's being your own boss, working for yourself. But the more that we make, the more money that we make, the more tools that we have. And money is just a tool. So then we take it a step even further, right? So we want to make money. What do we want to do with that money? We want to use it as a tool. But then what do we want to do once we have that tool to make money? We do want to make money. We want to use it as a tool because of how it makes us feel. And that's really the biggest reason why we want what we want. Anything we want actually in life is because of how it makes us feel, right? So we make the money, we spend the money on a vacation. We take the vacation because it makes us feel relaxed, right? We make the money, we spend it on, we put it in a money market fund. We invest it because it makes us feel safe, taken care of. Like if the shit hits the fan, we eventually, sorry, I don't know if there's kids listening. We eventually have, a comfort pad for us. We make money, we go to the dealership, we buy that Ferrari because it makes us feel cool, it makes us feel powerful. So there's a lot of reasons why we do what we do. Sometimes we get distracted and we think it's actually just the money, and then the money is a tool, but it's always about how it makes us feel. So I just want you to keep that in mind as we go through everything tonight and do the work. There's some core emotions that we're going to be talking about what your goals are and what you want to achieve. And look, there's no judgment on why you want to make the money you make, how much money you make. Sometimes there's a negative connotation when people talk about wanting to make a lot of money. But when you look at it as it's just a tool, I know a lot of people make a lot of money and they give a lot of money back. The more money you make, the more people you can help. So I just want you to remember that as we're going through today. So the first thing I'm going to take you guys through is a visualization. It's called An Ideal Day, and it's sort of is going to set the pace for what we'll be working on tonight. So sometimes we're so go, 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 go. Or let's hit that goal. Let's get that client. Let's do all the things that you keep saying that you want to do, but we don't exactly know why, and we don't know exactly what that looks like. So I'm going to take you through this exercise, and I'm going to give you some advice. If you can be as detailed as possible, the better outcome that you're going to have. So you don't have to write it down, but you do want to try to envision the answers to the questions that I'm going to ask you. And I'll explain why at the end. But this purpose is to help you become extremely clear on what you want and why you want it. So I'm going to ask the questions, and you're going to answer in your head. You don't have to write it down. I'm going to ask that you close your eyes and really try to get into the space that I'm talking about. And one last thing, this is a total fresh start. So you don't want to answer these questions in your head based on what you already are living or based on what you already know. It's like the sky is the limit. It could be totally outlandish if you were to tell somebody this, but it doesn't matter. You're just envisioning it in your head. So we're just going to start. You can close your eyes. It's morning. You're about to get out of bed. What time is it? Who's the person laying next to you? What's laying next to you? Is there an animal in your bed? You sort of look around the room. What is the decor of the room? What are the colors like? Is there a certain vibe in the room? You get dressed. What are you wearing? Are you wearing comfy clothes? Are you wearing a suit? How does it make you feel? You're going to make your way down to the kitchen. Who's there? Is breakfast already made? Are you making breakfast? What are you having? You're starting to get your day rolling, right? When you think, what do you do first? Are you working? Do you have some downtime? Do you have to go anywhere? If you're heading off to a typical day at work, how do you get that day started? Is there a calm zenness? Is there a fast pace to it? If you're staying home, what do you do next? Do you work from home? Do you have a certain routine? What does your office space look like? Whether it's at home or, in an actual office building. How are the days of your morning spent? Or how are the hours of your morning spent? Any specific feelings that are coming up? You're at the office or you're at home, you're working all day, it's a typical day, and now your day is sort of winding down. You're back in your home, and how does an average evening pan out? In your ideal day, maybe it's dinner time. What time is that for you? What time do you eat dinner? Who's with you? Are you at home? Do you go out? Do you cook? If you go out, where do you go? What do you have? What's for dinner? How are you feeling? What time do you get to start winding down for the night? Do you work anymore before you hit the hay? Or are you done at a certain time? As you climb into bed, play back the events of the day, and how do you feel about your day? So I know I can't hear you guys, but hopefully you guys all got a little bit of a taste of what maybe an ideal day would be like for you, and how you can sort of set the pace in your head about, this is something that I want to work towards. This is something that I want to achieve. And the reason I brought this up tonight is because working for yourself as an entrepreneur, you get to make a lot of choices. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget and we think that we have to make X amount of calls, we have to sign X amount of clients, we have to do X amount of things in order to hit this goal. But we can do it 1,000 different ways. And I think that's the joy of being an entrepreneur and getting to do things creatively. Now, the other reason when I said, I'll share with you guys at the end a little bit about why this exercise is really powerful, is when I first did this exercise, I was freshly separated from my ex-husband, probably at the lowest low that I could possibly be in my personal life. My career was, I was just burnt out. I was an executive on a television show. I was working 16 to 18-hour days for months. I was making great money, but my personal life and my health was crap because I was working so much. And I did this exercise, and it was cuckoo how so weird. Things that I never ever thought I wanted. I went downstairs and had breakfast with my 2 kids. I didn't have kids. I never wanted kids. I was with my partner. I have a boyfriend who I have 2 kids with. Everything that I had envisioned, even though I didn't want it, has come true except one tiny part. I live in the exact house that I had envisioned in that exercise. I don't even know why or how. I didn't even know I wanted it. Complete white house, very modern, very minimalistic. That's where I live. And everything came true. I have my own coaching business. I get to figure out my own hours. I get to still have my hand in production. The only thing that hasn't come true yet is I don't have a documentary project that I'm working on. That was the other part of my ideal day. So I just want you guys to know that it may seem a little crazy, some of the things that we do and some of the things that we plan for the future, because we don't know what's in it for us and we don't know what to expect. But sometimes the craziest things are possible and we don't know that until they're actually happening. So if we're not in that headspace, it might seem like it's like, yeah, dumb, whatever, that's crazy. But you'd be surprised at how many things can pan out when you put your mind and your focus on something. And we'll talk a little bit about that later, about what to focus on. So I want to move into mindset. We just sort of went through this whole ideal day, and it may or may not be similar to what you're already living. I don't know if it's something that you're already at that space, but sometimes what we do is we end up getting stuck seeing what we're already in as opposed to what's possible. And that's where mindset really comes into play. So some of the things, and I'm just going to rattle off some answers, some of the places that we tend to get stuck, some of the things that maybe we've been wanting to accomplish but we're struggling with, maybe sign new clients, maybe it's, we want to be more active on social media and be more visible. Maybe we want to change it up. Everything that we're doing is sort of getting stale for us. We want to make more money. We want to have more time to ourselves. We want to be there more for our family. We want to be more engaged in our business. And of those things, and I'm just going to rattle this off, and if you guys have comments, you can throw them in the chat. What's been holding you back? Some of the common things are really, that feeling of being judged, maybe looking stupid, caring about what people think of us, not wanting to share things publicly can be really tough. Getting a lot of no's, right? Getting a lot of people that are like, no, I'm good, not right now. Feeling uninspired, maybe just don't feel motivated and don't really know why. And maybe you feel sometimes like, hey, the market's saturated. There's a lot of people doing what I'm doing. What makes my thing different? And one of the biggest things that I can help you with mindset. Yeah? Did you jump in? Oh. One of the biggest things that I can help you with mindset is you have a choice. We can look cool and be broke, or we can risk looking silly and be wealthy. And mindset is always about changing the way that you think in order to achieve what you want. And sometimes we have to let go of worrying about what people might think of us or what people might say and thinking the worst, right? We often, I'm sure you guys have been in this situation where you have a conversation with somebody and you walk away and you're like, oh my God, did I just say something that totally insulted what they were wearing? I meant I really liked that shirt, but it came out wrong. And we've created this whole story in our head about how we probably totally made this person feel bad. And it totally went over their head. They weren't even paying attention to it. And so when we think about mindset, we just have to think about, what are we looking for? What are we after? And we have to let go of everything else, because it's really never about us anyways, right? We're trying to focus on helping people. And if that's our biggest goal, then we pull it away from us and it's always about them. And I think one of the problems that we can often run into when it comes to mindset and being a coach is you've got to put yourself out there and you have to tell people what you do. And some people are not going to pick up what you're putting down, and that's totally fine. They're not your people. Everybody can't be your people, right? And that's what makes the world go around though. And the other part is, when we have 2, 5, 10, hundreds of people doing the same thing, it can often feel uninspiring. Like, oh, there's so much competition. And 2 things to remember with that is, like, 1, everybody has a different flavor. Like, there is so many business coaches out there. I'm sure you guys all know that. There are so many business coaches out there that if I let that stop me, I would never have business, right? I have to get out there and be like, you know what? There's something unique about me, and there's going to be certain people that are attracted to my uniqueness. And that's exactly what happened. I see this all the time with writers and with photographers. I work with a lot of creative entrepreneurs, and think about how many photographers there are out there. Everybody has a different style of shooting, and that style resonates with different people. Same as being a coach. And the other part I wanted to say is, and I'm sure you guys have heard this Henry Ford quote, is, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. And mindset really comes down to that. The only difference between you guys and Shailene Johnson was she was willing to look silly. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of her TikToks. If you guys are on TikTok, but girl has no problem looking silly. And I love that about her. And that's what a lot of people love about her. There's things that she's done that she hasn't aced, and that's okay because she took a risk. And I just want you guys to remember that. And I'm sure you guys have had trainings on being public and being visible, but I just want you to remember that there's no difference between you and anybody else that's at a different level in their business, except they're just willing to look silly. So mindset starts all with you. You can go into 2020 jumping back in, sort of like on that struggle bus and whatever was holding you back in 2019, or you can switch it up and say, forget it. I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, or like I call it a Debbie Downer. But you have the opportunity to make this year different, and it's all about changing your mindset. Now, the next part is all about goal setting as well. So we're going to start making targeted and measurable goals. So I'm sure you guys have goals for 2020. Again, I can't hear you guys, but so I'm just going to rattle off a few that a lot of my clients are having right now. They want to make more money. They want to connect with more clients. They want to stop playing small in their business. They really want to put themselves out there. Some of them want to turn their businesses upside down, and they want to shift and do something totally crazy with it. There's parameters that we all work in, but there's ways that we can shift and get outside the box to make ourselves stand out. And that goes back to being a different flavor, and there's different tastes for everybody. So when you think about your goals, if they're an old goal, what held you back in the past? So I want you to think about that. If there's a goal that you're still trying to hit, that you're sort of carrying over from 2019, what was the main thing that held you back in 2019? And then come up with a few ways. Maybe come up with 2 or 3 ways where you're going to do it differently this year. And the best thing about not hitting your goal in 2019 is that because now you have data, and now you're going to take that data and figure out, all right, what can I learn from this, right? There's no such thing as failures. There's just opportunities. So you didn't fail if you didn't hit that goal in 2019, but you got a lot of data. Did you put an offer out there and nobody took you up on it? Okay. Well, let's revisit, how did I write that offer? How did I communicate? Who was the person that I was being in order to talk to that person? Is there something that I could have done differently? Maybe there's a different way around it. So I just want you to think about some of the data that you got back on why you didn't hit a goal in 2019 and how you can switch it up in 2020. And then I also want you to think about, how did it make you feel when you didn't hit that goal? Did it feel like, oh, just really heavy? Sort of like, oh, not again, Dom. I still didn't make that goal. I still didn't, whatever it is, whatever you were trying to accomplish. Or were you like, all right, didn't make that goal, gonna make the next one? Because that's definitely the mindset that you want to be in. And sometimes it can be hard to be there when you're feeling a constant, batting of back and forth of like not meeting the goals that you want. And that's when it's time to step back to the drawing board, look at that data and figure out, okay, how can I switch things up? I keep doing the same thing, but I'm expecting a different result. Which I want to say is the definition of, it's like chaos or something. But if we do the same thing and expect a different result, it makes no sense, right? We have to do something different to get a different result. And then lastly, whatever that goal is that you might be carrying over from 2019, imagine that you're hitting it, right? How amazing would that feel? You spent 2019 chasing that thing, you didn't quite get it, and then 2020 you hit it, and you're like, oh, that feels amazing. That's the emotion that you always want to tap into. Because remember I said we're talking about everything that we do because of how it makes us feel. So when we think about why we want to do something, we want to tap into the emotion of that we've already done it. And that is the emotion that we're chasing. And what's funny is something crazy happens in that we already feel like we've accomplished it. So we're already walking on the top of the world. We're like, I'm amazing. I'm a 6-figure business owner. We feel that way. We carry ourselves way. We sort of like emit that vibe to people. And then people start to take notice and they're like, hey, there's something different about her. She's on top of the world. I want what she has. And that's how people end up keeping their success once they get there. And also getting there when they haven't even hit there yet. I know a lot of people that exude that confidence that you just assume that they're uber successful. But no, they just have the confidence. And then the success usually comes afterwards. Okay, so we're talking about our goals. So when we're setting goals, our brain tends to sort of look for this past, like this verification and approval. And our ego sort of weighs in, right? Our ego weighs in because we don't want to look dumb. And our ego is there to sort of be our safety net. They want to make sure that we don't do anything stupid. We don't want to set some big, huge, crazy, fancy goal because, oh my God, what if we don't hit it? Now we look stupid and everybody knows I set out to do this thing and I didn't do it. But we need to make that big, crazy, scary, audacious goal because that's what pushes us internally. That's what motivates us. So for example, let's just say that, our goal is to reach out to 10 people this week. Friday comes around. We didn't quite make it. We reached out to 7 people. Okay, cool. That's good. You did something. But if your goal was to reach out to 100 people this week, Friday rolls around, we still quite didn't make it. But we reached out to the same percentage of people because we set a goal of 100 people. This time we reached out to 70 people. That's amazing, right? Just by switching what our goal was, just by changing up how much we're going to go after. So we want to up our game. We want to set our goal outside of our comfort zone. Maybe it's something like you want to sign X amount of clients. Maybe it's you want to talk to this amount of people. You want to make so many phone calls. Maybe it's you want to be going on a retreat to Destin, Florida with Maggie. There's a ton of things that you would want to do. Whatever it is, you need to set it bigger than what you think it should be. You always want to set it bigger than what you feel like you're able to attain. Because you're always going to surprise yourself. You're always going to surpass what you internally think that you can do. And that's sort of a cheat on how to motivate yourself to keep going. Okay. So, oh, perfect. We're doing great on time. There's a little time for questions at the end. So the last part we're going to talk about is time management, scheduling, and planning. And so here we're going to get into tactics, tips, strategies to get what needs to be done. I know that a lot of you are parents. You guys have a ton of responsibilities besides your business, and there's a ton on your plate. I'm totally in that same boat. So we're going to talk about some of your biggest issues and some of the stuff that's been holding you back. Again, I'm just going to answer for you. Maybe you need more time. You just need more time and all, overall. You've got too much on your plate. Maybe you've got so much on your plate that you're just sort of overwhelmed and sort of stuck in that analysis paralysis spot where you're like, I don't know what to do first, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Maybe you just don't know where to start, and that's holding you up. Maybe you get really stressed out about what you should put out to be visible and to talk to other people about your business, and you worry about it, being perfect or saying it the right way. But we can get an insane amount done if we do a few things. So we definitely don't want to worry about doing all the things, right? We want to just focus on the stuff that's bringing in results. We want to figure out what's bringing in results, and we want to focus on that, and we only want to do that. There's going to be time later to do all the other stuff. So for example, there's always a lot of advice about like you need to be on all the social media platforms. I would say be on the one that you already are connected with the most people on, and hit that hard. And it doesn't have to be social media. It can be anything. If you are part of I'm making this stuff up. If you're like on the PTA and those are where all your contacts are and you seem to have a good vibe with everybody, that's where you put most of your energy. You want to put most of your energy where you're already seeing results. For me, that's always been Instagram. That's how I got my first clients as a coach, and that seems to be where I get the most interaction, and that's usually where I put my most effort. I get my most results from where I'm putting most of my effort. And so if you're putting a lot of your effort in a lot of different small pots, then you sometimes just get a trickle in of results. But if you focus in where you're getting most of the results, it's a way to maximize your results quicker. Okay, so going to one of the other tips is, and I hate to say this because a lot of people get upset about it, but if you're waiting to put stuff out there in the world, if you're waiting to perfect your pitch and send the perfect email and write the perfect Instagram post, if you're waiting for things to be perfect, then you've done it wrong. You spent way too much time on it, whether it's the email, the pitch, the photo. And the reason why I say that is because by the time you've made it perfect, it's only perfect in your eyes, right? And remember earlier when I said it's never about us, it's always about them. It's always about our clients. It's always about potential clients. Everything we do is for them. We're just the facilitator of the business. So if everything that we do is for them, how do we actually know if it's perfect until we put it out there and get feedback that it either is, it landed, or it isn't? And then we use that as data and we tweak it. So if you're waiting to put things out until they're perfect, you've waited too long. You got to put things out sort of as I'd say like the second draft. And then if you get a lot of results, you get a lot of interaction with something, then okay, this is something that people are interested in. This is something that's speaking their language. And this is something that maybe I want to take back, tweak a little, and then put back out. Okay, and then a few more tips. You want to keep things simple. So how can you make it more simple? What are you doing that you could sort of pare down a little bit? Doesn't need all the bells and whistles. Silly example, but like your kid's lunch. Does it have to have all the special things in it? Could it be a basic lunch for a few weeks while you're spending that time doing something that you're in for work on? Ask for support. No one said we had to do it all, although as women, for some reason, we think we do. One of the ways that we can really let go of feeling that burden of feeling like we need to do it all is to look at it as we're empowering other people to do their fair share. We're empowering other people to step up and take ownership and responsibility. And in doing that, though, we do have to let go of it needing to be right. It's better. Being done is better than being right. Being done is better than being perfect. Because being done means we can focus our energy and time on our business, on our personal goals, on whatever it is. Another tip is pairing. So you want to pair stuff, the things that you have to do with the things that you want to do, things that are going to benefit you. I personally, in my personal life, I pair Netflix and laundry. I hate laundry. I love Netflix. I don't watch a lot of TV except when I'm doing laundry. That's my sort of bonus. But if you got to do the dishes, maybe catch up on that Facebook Live that Maggie did that you've been meaning to watch. Do something where you are sort of getting a 1-2 punch. Obviously not something that's super important that you need to take notes, because then we start moving into multitasking, which is always tricky, but pairing stuff that maybe is a chore or something that you normally would be taking up your time to do with something that you want to do, something that's going to enrich your life a little bit. All right. And then the very last part is planning. All right. And I'm sure you guys know this, that if you don't plan, it doesn't get done. Funny thing is, we know that, yet we still don't plan. But here's an easy way to make sure that you are hitting your goals. So you have your goal, you have your plan, and then you have a schedule. And you want to reverse engineer it, and you want to break down everything from, if your goal is to be in Florida with Maggie on that retreat, okay, well then how many clients do I need to sign? How much do I need to reach out to people? How many phone calls do I need to make? How many emails? How many, do I need to sit down and make a list? You want to sort of reverse engineer all the way back into every little detail to baby step it there. And when you do that, these big, huge, audacious goals that I hope you're going to be setting in 2020 are much easier to attain because they're broken down into baby steps. And it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like, oh, I've got all this to do. No, you just knock off 1 or 2 here or there, and you sort of schedule it in your calendar. And it's much more feasible to do when it's just not this sort of nebulous, I got to hit this goal. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's just got to get done. But when you break it down and reverse engineer it, it's so much easier, because then you can visibly see all the little things. And if you're a check marker offer like I am, you can actually check off everything that you do. And every time you do that, you feel like, I'm getting there. I'm making progress. And you can visibly see your progress as well. The last part I was going to say was I was going to give you guys some tips on vision boarding. I knew we weren't going to do it tonight. But if you guys are going to do a vision board, I wanted to give you guys some advice on that and a few tips on what not to do that I've done my first few vision boards. Do I even have a vision board? I do. Stand by. I'm going to show you guys my vision board. This is an old board from, let's see. This is an old board from when I was post-baby and I had not gotten to the gym in a really long time. So it's all physical. I used to be a surfer when I had time and didn't have children. But in terms of vision boarding, what I will say is, just like we did that earlier, the ideal day, it doesn't have to be something that you know is possible. It's actually better if you don't. I've got an Oscar on there. I don't work in film. I work in documentaries and TV, but I'm pretty much not in the race to win an Oscar, but I still have it on there because it's the idea of that massive award for me. You want to keep it upbeat, obviously. You don't want anything on your vision board that you don't want in your head. And here's an example of how I screwed this up one year. Is I used to have this massive, it was actually a piece of artwork over my vision board that said F, fear. And obviously this is before I had kids in my house. But guess what was on my mind every day I walked in and out of my house? The word fear. Even though it was like, I don't want fear, it's not my world. Every day I saw that word fear, 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 fear when I was walking in and out of my house. And it drove me, I didn't know it. Then eventually I was clinging on to being afraid all the time, being afraid of putting myself out there, being afraid of taking big leaps in my business. And I come from a very competitive, male-dominated industry. And so I always had this feeling of fear until I was like, I'm going to take this down. And I felt so much better after that. So just don't put stuff on there that you don't want in your head. Go big. like anything on there. Like there's a chick on a shortboard surfing on a wave. I'm a very crappy surfer, but I put like massive goals that, you know, I'm 40. I may not be surfing like that ever again, but put the big stuff on there because that's the stuff that you see all the time that motivates you to get back in the water or to get back into doing whatever you really want to do. What was the last thing? Oh, and you want to keep it sort of evolved for like the next 1 to 3 years. I do a new vision board every like 1 to 3 years. And anytime things are feeling stale, I'll be like, all right, it's time for a vision board. So I just want to give you guys that advice. Maggie, let me know if they have any questions. If you guys have any questions, holler.
I am like completely mesmerized.
Sorry, it was so fast, but I wanted to get everything.
No, this was really powerful, Dom. Wow. I loved, okay, my favorite quote, and you have to finish it because I couldn't get all of it down, was, you have a choice to be cool and broke or look silly and what was
wealthy.
Wealthy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. I love it. And I love how you said that everyone has different flavor. We do talk about that because coaching, the Beachbody, it's a very saturated market, and we really try to show our coaches and help them to find their niche and attract people that they're going to be able to help, and learn how to attract those leaders that are going to, you know, help them build their business. So, yeah, I really liked how you said that. And
also remember that, like, you guys we're all in our coach world, right? So, like, I'm in this world of coaches in my business coaching. And so I'm like, everybody's a business coach. Well, because that's who I'm associating with. Mm-hmm. And just like you guys, everybody's a Beachbody coach because that's who you're associating with at the moment. But I literally was talking to somebody today, and I said, hey, I'm doing this thing with Beachbody coaches. She's like, what's Beachbody? So it's like, there's people that don't know. She's a Pilates trainer. She has no idea what Beachbody is. So it's like, there's people that don't know about it. We're just in our own world, you know?
You're right. And we need to be grounded sometimes and remind ourselves of that a lot. Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay. So I have like 1 or 2 questions, but I wanted to give it to the team first. Ladies, come on. This is the time to ask a professional business coach those, you know, those questions that you have been like wanting to know the answers to, how to maybe do things differently in your business. Like, this is the time to ask her. So unmute yourself and ask, or if you can't, do it in the chat. Because if you don't, then I'm going to. But
then I'm jumping in.
Yes, ask. Anyone? Bueller.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Adriana.
Hey.
Hi. So I am a mom of 3. I have not a newborn anymore, but he's a turd of a sleeper. So I've been not posting quite as much because I look like a zombie walking around. But would you say, as a business person, and if we're putting ourselves out there more so in what's going on in our personal life, me saying, hey, I'm alive, I'm maybe not hitting it as hard as I want to, but like just kind of relate to the moms that are kind of on that same level. Like, don't think it's the easiest thing in the world, but kind of still put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sense, or just kind of keep away from
No, I would definitely, I would put yourself out there in that sense, and just be honest about it and be like, I mean, how many mamas feel me right now? Like, I'm juggling this, but I just want you guys to know I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still, you know, checking in on you guys. And this is what I'm struggling with, or this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going through. You know, how do you guys manage it all? And I always throw it back to my audience of like, how do you guys, if you notice, if you follow me on social, a lot of times I do ask a question. Sometimes my posts are just direct into the point, and sometimes more, you know, trying to engage interaction. But you want to always play into what, you know, you give a little bit of what you're dealing with, and then you want to play into what they're dealing with. Because chances are they're dealing with the same thing. And they probably have the same question. Like, I don't want to post myself on social media because I haven't done my hair in a week, and I'm wearing no makeup, and I haven't slept, and I feel like crap. They're feeling the same thing. And then they see you do it, and they're like, oh, okay. I could do it too then. You know, you become their inspiration and their motivation then.
Thank
So,
But I would definitely post.
Yes, ma'am.
so hi, my name is Nika, and just to piggyback on what she said earlier, it's really hard to, like, I'm not somebody who takes selfies all the time. I don't even know how to take selfies. I'm actually learning a lot about myself, and I'm starting to, I guess, maybe love myself more, because you have to love yourself to put yourself out there and take a picture of yourself and send it out to the universe and say, hey, like, you can't look like shit and put yourself out there, because they're going to be like, if this is what you look like, this is not what I want to do. So it's like, I always feel like I have to, like, put on a little makeup or something. And sometimes I just want to, like, I don't know, like, I can't take a selfie without putting on, like, concealer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard. Like, it's hard, I think, to start loving yourself in order to put yourself out there for everyone to know that, okay, what are you doing? I want to know what you're doing. I want to learn more about it. I mean, people see changes in my body and they've asked me questions, but it's really hard to post something and put your face out there.
It is tough. And two things on this. So I also come from TV and come from the world of, we wear a lot of makeup and HD makeup. And you guys know Coach Glitter. She worked with Shailene for years. She was her makeup artist. We both come from the entertainment industry where you just pile on the makeup and everything looks amazing. And so I struggled with that too in the very beginning, because there's no way I was going to go on any sort of media without a ton of makeup on, because that was unprofessional in my mind.
Right.
It's a catch-22 for you. The more you post selfies, not feeling or looking perfect, the more you'll love yourself and the more you're going to want to do it, because you'll feel comfortable.
Yes.
So it's sort of like the cart before the horse situation. So that's a little tough, but the more you can try to do it, and a good way to practice that is in, like, if you're on Instagram, it's on Instagram stories, or if you're on Facebook, it'd be Facebook stories, where they delete in 24 hours. It's sort of dipping your toe in a little bit. I don't even know if it's still up, but I did an Instagram story last night. I started in the morning and I had a full face of makeup on. I was going about my day. And by the time we made it home, like, my mascara was down to here, and I really wanted to go fix my face. And then I was like, I don't have time. I don't want to wake up the kids because they're going to hear me if I try to get in the bathroom and get my makeup. It's right next to their room. I'm just going to do this Instagram story. And I got a lot of comments on, like, hey, I love to see, like, you being real. I think that makes you more relatable. The last thing that I will say is, if you're in, like, Maggie's really good at this. She'll be in, like, workout clothes and her hair will be up. And I don't know if you have makeup on or not, but when you're working out, your face is already flushed. So you kind of already have that, like, blush and you feel a little bit motivated. I will get on and like any sort of social media live and do stuff like that when I'm post workout, because you look like you should look. If you had a full face of makeup and workout gear, then people are like, that's
yeah,
Los Angeles of you. Yeah.
It's kind of hard for brown people. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
It's hard for brown people to be blushed.
Yes. So maybe you have a little blush, but I will every so often do, like, absolutely no makeup, and it's hard and it hurts, like, my ego to do it, but it makes me so much more relatable, and I get way more comments when I look like that versus when I look all made up. Yeah. So I will say it makes you more relatable, but just baby step it, and, like, maybe start with some stories. They disappear within 24 hours, and then work on it that way. And that might help a little bit.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great question. Yeah, so for the longest time, I would post a picture or a video, and I had to have a full face of makeup. And even, like, I'd have to redo the picture, redo the video if it wasn't perfect. But it took a lot of confidence to get you, like, where I'm, I just don't give a F,
Yeah.
But it's funny because if you scroll down to, like, my first few posts, you guys, you will see it. You'll be like, oh my God, who is that? Because that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And I will tell you, this journey has taught me who I am. it has opened my eyes to really who is deep down inside. And the more you do it, the more you get comfortable to it, like Dom said, that's when you really start to love yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Okay. I just wanted to share that I had an awakening. I privately messaged Maggie a week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, saying the frustration, because I've been a coach since June, so for 6 months, and I'm seeing people who are like Christy. She's diamond, and I'm very excited for her. But at the same time, she signed up at the same time I did. So then that jealousy kind of creeped in a little bit. And anyhow, the point is that I was inviting people, not as many as what they say on the Success Club tracker. But in my mind, I envisioned I was constantly inviting people. Where after I talked to Maggie, I did the math. And what you were talking about, Dom, is I'm a teacher, and that's called backwards planning.
Yeah.
So you see where you want the students to be by whatever testing date.
Yeah.
And you backwards plan to, okay, this is what I need to get done this week, 2, 3, and so on. Anyhow, so I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, if they want me to invite 5 people a day, that's 180 people a month, or 185 or more,
Right.
but yet they're only expecting 3 challengers. I
Right.
thought, wow, okay, so I can kind of meet that. But I guess my question is, I'm getting really tired. I'm sorry, I'll be 50 this year.
Yeah.
And I look good.
Yeah, you do.
I don't say that in conceit, but I'm working hard to take care of this body, the hips, the knees, the everything. And people tell me, oh my gosh, you just look amazing. You just look amazing. I wish I could look like you. And I say, you can come. Oh,
Yeah.
no. And then I even try, I'm not very good at this yet, but I try to find those, what do you call it, where you reroute their nose into, I can't remember what it's called. But anyhow, redirect them. And I don't know what to do, because I truly am not getting any people to sign up. And I don't know how to fix it. Now, Maggie, I am inviting 7 to 10 people a day.
Good.
since we talked. So for this whole month, I've invited 7 to 10 people a day.
Good.
So I am stepping up and doing that. And Dom, you know, I thought, oh, if my goal is this, then I'm going to start doing 10 to 15 people a day. That's what I'm
Yeah, you just want to up your goal. And the other thing too is, like, remember, you're planting seeds, right? So every time that maybe it's the same person or the same few people that are like, oh my God, your body's amazing. Oh my God, your body's amazing. Oh my God, your body's amazing. Eventually, like right now, you're just, think of it like every time that you have a conversation with them, you're watering the plant, like the seedling a little bit. Like a lot of times it doesn't happen overnight. And it's the same way in my business. There's people that will follow me for 2 years, be on my email list, and won't hire me until year 2. So it's definitely a long game for some people. Some people just need a little bit more time. And so it's like every time you talk to them, just think of it as you're always just sort of nurturing that relationship. And right now they may have a lot of excuses on like, oh, but she's got teacher hours, so she has more time than I do, or, you know, whatever stories they're creating in their head. Eventually what will end up happening is you're still going to be doing your thing. They're going to see you becoming more and more successful, keeping your body fit and firm the way it already is. And eventually they're going to be like, okay. How do I do this? You know, it's just going to take them a little bit longer than other people a lot of times. So in the back of your head, if you can just always remember, like, okay, I'm just going to keep watering this little seedling, and eventually it'll sprout.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, questions. I know we're a little over our time, but we got to use this time wisely.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Christina. So I've been coaching on and off for the past 3 years, and I've signed up people, I've had them on board, but they would fall off. So I would have the group going, I would show up, and other people were showing up, but like little by little, they would just start trickling out, kind of like giving up on themselves in a sense. And maybe I shouldn't say it that way, but I want to know, how can I continuously offer support, maybe a little tough love here and there, and keep them motivated and reach the goal that why they, reached out to me or accepted an invitation. I really struggle with that. So what advice would you have for me?
So just so I'm clear, so you've been coaching on and off for about 3 years, and then there's some people that like they're interested but they haven't fully committed, and you've talked to them and then you sort of pulled back. Is that what you're saying?
No, they so there's some people who I would invite, and they would come into a challenge group, and they would start out and just kind of fizzle away.
Gotcha.
Work happened, family happened, just life in general. Or I would have people reach out to me like, hey, I've been following you. I see what you've been doing. Can I do it too? Absolutely. And they would join too. And then it would, oh, I'm going on vacation, or, oh, I don't want to give up, my food or my wine or my fun and all that kind of stuff. So on my end, I feel like I offer the support without giving too much tough love, because for me, I feel like it's a choice you have to make. When you're invited to change physically, you change mentally. It's more of a mental struggle to say yes to something, I feel, in this industry. And I want to know, how can I keep people motivated to get to that end goal, even if it is, the 21-day fix? How do I see people all the way through, even when they're wanting to give up on themselves?
Okay. I would steal what I talked to you guys about tonight. I would steal that and make it your own. I would, depending on how many people that you're working with, it might be a little tough. But if you have, let's say if you have 5 people that are sort of fizzling out a little bit, they're going on vacation, they're sort of falling off. Maybe if you already know that these are the people, are they the same people that keep coming back, or are they different people?
There's a handful of people that kind of come and go.
Okay. So you have a handful of people that you can kind of work with. You know that this person's going to be there, then they're going to fizzle off, then they're going to come back, then they're going to fizzle off. Maybe what I would do the next challenge a little bit before is put a little sort of legwork in with these people if you can, and do a little bit of sort of personal development. Are you the one that made the personal development comment in there? Yeah. So if you do a little bit of personal development with them, and maybe try the ideal day exercise, maybe really talk to them about, like, yeah, we all want to look better and feel better, but like, why? Get into more of the emotions behind it, and really try to help them tie that into their motivation. Because then, first of all, you know what their main motivation is. So when they start to fall off, you can help remind them of that. It's sort of like you end up being their cheerleader in a little bit, but you've got their sort of the direct connection to why they want to do this. And I mean, the best way to do it is, I'm super like nerd when it comes to organization and notes and stuff, is I would just keep a chart of like their name and like, all right, this is why they're doing it. This is their end goal. These are the emotions that really motivate them. And I would try to keep reminding them of that. And see how it is. For some of them, you try that ideal day exercise. I don't know how much time you guys spend with each client ahead of time before the challenges. Another thing that you could do, and I don't know how you guys run the challenges, but you could even do that exercise with them, and help motivate them into, because when we think about like Beachbody and we think about getting healthy and working out and living a certain lifestyle, we think of a lot of times the superficial stuff. But a lot of times, like for me, I still care about what I look like, but I really want to be, I have 2 young kids and I'm 40, and I'm already feeling like the 40ness kicking in. And I used to only want to be fit so I could surf and do active things. Now I want to be fit for my kids. So it's definitely like more of a personal, emotional thing. So if you, like Adriana busted out her kid right there, like if you came to me and talked to me about kids and keeping up with my kids, I'd be like, yeah, that's it. That's what I want to do. So if you can get to the core emotion on what's sort of driving them to be interested in the first place, And the other thing is like, what's holding them back? Some of the questions that I asked you in the very beginning about goal setting, like so I brought up some of the common sort of excuses and like reasons why we, you know, don't meet our goals. If you can figure out those ahead of time, you can help redirect them as they start to fall off a little bit.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is so great.
I was also thinking about like maybe some friendly challenges that you can have with your group, like, you know, for the month. Like, you know, if you guys all stay here for the month, you know, somebody can win a $5 gift card to Starbucks or something. I don't know. Something friendly.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
or we could all go out to dinner or something.
And people get motivated by money. Like, I mean, was your inbox full of diet bet? Join our diet bet, like in January. I don't know how mine was like filled with diet bet groups. And sometimes when you put like a cash prize there, that's their why.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you do like you got to buy in to the group, $20, and guess what? And have them like weigh themselves, do the stats, and whoever has the most success gets the cash.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right, Sneepa. People are motivated by like the tangible.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And that's something that I've been trying to work on now is, you know, everybody is different. So trying to find out the motivators that will, why you want to start and what can get you continuously going. And I know for me, sometimes I can get overly sensitive if somebody talks to me about something. So that is kind of something that I try to tiptoe around because I don't ever want to offend somebody. I don't want to tell somebody you're doing bad or do better. I don't want to do anything that would be damaging to them. So maybe finding the right dialogue would be helpful as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
And one last part of that is, and this is for everyone really, if you can speak the language of your potential clients, you can sort of fast track that know, like, trust factor, and they'll become more open to talking to you about things, especially if you have somebody you're saying about tiptoeing around them. Like, pay attention to what your ideal clients are saying. Are they saying like, I just feel exhausted? Okay, well then you know that person is feeling exhausted, so you want to use that sort of in your marketing to them and reflect that back to them. But also, you know that's probably going to be one of the things that's going to be holding them back. So if you're like, what I do is I take notes on what my ideal clients say, and again, nerdy, I keep it in a spreadsheet, but then I know, okay, in my marketing, if you notice some of my marketing says, I help busy entrepreneurs what entrepreneur isn't busy, right? Stop spinning their wheels and focus and follow through on their goals. Most of my clients, they have a ton of great ideas. They don't know where to start, and they just feel like they're spinning their wheels, just doing all the things and nothing's landing. Mm-hmm. So, but I only figured all that out until I started listening to exactly what they were saying. So if you can try to listen to what they're saying and then reflect it back to them, and then also, you know, help them overcome those issues, that'll help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Because I feel like we're kind of way over the time here. I have one question, and you could just answer it real fast. Building a business, is it best to build it on social media? Like a business like a Beachbody Coach? Like, I know that you said where you get the most results, put your energy in that, okay? Mm-hmm. But in our world, where do you think we will have most results? Like, because I have a lot of coaches that have fear about putting themselves out there on social media, when I'm like, you want to reach your goals and fulfill that why, you have to, because no one's going to know what your purpose is and what your job is.
Okay, so this is a tough one. So if you are somebody who's active in your community, in like PTA or on the Chamber of Commerce or something like that, you have to imagine if social media was, this is funny, imagine if social media was real life, which it was before social media. Imagine if that was all you had to go off of. But what would you do? You'd go to networking events. You would tell everybody. You tell the grocery person, the person that's bagging your groceries, about what you did. Like, if those people that don't want to be on social media, they really have to step it up and be uber social in real life. To me, it's a lot easier to be social on one platform, or, you know, on a few platforms, whatever, and it go out to the masses, as opposed to have to physically go and speak to all these people in my neighborhood, in my environment. If that's what they want to do, and if that's what they'd have to be really committed to doing that. But I'm definitely a firm believer in social media is the way to go, because it's the only way that you're going to connect with people in other states that are outside of your environment, right? So like, if I only hung out with Beachbody coaches and they're in my inner circle, and that's pretty much who I saw outside of, you know, in my everyday life, well, then I'd sort of be limited to how many people I can really connect with if I'm supposed to, you know, talk to this many people a day. But when you're on social media, there's so many more people you can talk to that aren't in your everyday environment and circle. So is it impossible? No. Does it make it a ton harder? Yeah. I think if you don't want to do it on social media, it makes it a lot harder. And that's a tricky one right there. Mm-hmm. And are they just afraid of judgment? Are they don't want to be, like, they just don't put photos of themselves up?
Yeah. And they're not consistent. Like, I always say, you know, if you have a business, like, imagine if you go to Target and it's closed one day.
Right.
You're going to take their business elsewhere. So you have to be open for business every single day. So showing up on your stories, doing a post in your inbox. So that's what I try to, like, compare it to. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted your opinion about that. So good.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think it's just so much harder if it's in person. Mm-hmm. It's not impossible. And maybe that's how you sort of, you know, relay it to them, is like, look, see how it goes for a month, and see how many people they're able to connect with. And maybe this would be amazing, and I'd love to hear the results on this. Maybe they find that is their sweet spot. And maybe they also find that gives them the confidence of being forced to sort of, you know, they're forcing themselves to get out there in the community and do it. Maybe then they'll feel more comfortable doing it online.
That's true. That's a very good experiment. Yeah.
Just sort of like the Instagram stories where, you know, it's going to delete. Mm-hmm. So right now they're just doing it sort of off the radar because it's not online.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to see how it goes if they then move online. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. One last thing. So talk about what you do. So we can.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a TV producer about, I don't know, 1/8 of the time. I only do one show a year, usually something in unscripted reality TV. And then the rest of the time, I'm a business coach for creative entrepreneurs, online professionals who are struggling to figure out their business. I do a lot helping with creatives use video in their businesses because of my background. But my favorite is people who are just trying to, like, level up in their business, and they really want to get to the next level. I only work with people who are in creative, sort of like they get to use the creative part of their brain. Like, I don't do accountants. I don't do engineers. Those aren't my people. But I do anybody who's really, they take a look at their business and they're like, okay, how can I make this different from everybody else's? That's the stuff I really love. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you for staying on the whole time, because
you guys are rad. It was great to see you.
Really shows your character, because when you're here at the end, that means you're going to be here at the end of your business. You're always going to show up. So congrats to you guys. And Dom, I cannot thank you enough for your knowledge and your awesomeness. And it was just, I could just listen to your voice all day. So, okay, ladies, I recorded this, so I will post it in our team page. And I'm going to sign off just because it's almost 9:30. So I know we're really busy, but I just want to say thanks for coming. And don't forget to post where you're going to put your positive affirmation about, I am going to be in Destin, Florida. Okay, I want to see that. And then maybe we'll start vision boarding. Vision boarding, yeah. Okay, ladies, have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.